I'm a team manager on the self-directed support team in Oldham, also on the Dean Control team, and I have worked on the team for the past couple of years. And I think the combination of self-directed support and getting a life in terms of valuing people and citizenship is absolutely a perfect match. It's why I'm so interested in the project and what we're doing here. What I want to see is things that people are doing around the country to involve people with disabilities in their own decision making, particularly in actually getting a job, appropriate further education, not just a hamster wheel going round and round, but education that has outcomes for people, and for people actually participating in, not just being in, but being of their local communities, with whatever supports, how much or how little that might be. It would be interesting to know what people on other sites are doing around the country, particularly those who are using different innovative techniques to actually engage with people with a disability and carers. I think it would also be useful for sometimes if we can actually organise a pathway and a protocol, but that is actually very relevant and understandable to all people, to all audiences, so from people, professionals, but equally importantly to people with disabilities and learning disabilities. And we've got our protocols, but I don't think yet they are sufficiently user-friendly, and I guess these other sites we can share information with. That would be very useful on the website. And also useful developments in national guidance, national policy that we might not always keep up to, that we could share with each other, how we're doing things. So those I think probably would be the main things. It's a way of keeping in touch with all the sites and with central government and each of us. Maybe quite useful because we know there are blocks in the system. It might be useful when we do come across blocks and difficulties and resistances that we can actually share that with other sites to find out how actually they overcome those. Was it about personality? Was it about systems? How can we do that? Because we do know in Oldham there are blocks to some of the cultural change that are going to be necessary to really value people and to actually get people the jobs that we know for individual situations that many people can do but don't get the opportunity because of expectations or whatever, and prejudices from people even who work within the field. So that would be my main thing for the website. Well, I've been working in and around transition for about the past 25 years. When I first started, it really was about people just moving to day service and day centres. Over that time, I've seen a massive change in the growth of supported employment and further education. Not by any means gone far enough. So I'm thinking in terms of Chris's case, Chris went into a day centre when he first left school. And he said himself he had some difficulties, and in fact on a couple of occasions we had the old Bill in to have a chat with him, didn't we, Chris? And it was as if idle hands for this lad. And once he decided, he actually pushed the boat for himself to say, look, I'd like to do some work. And quite clearly, once he's got into work, what's happened in fact is that it's taken a lot of his energies to do a good job in the job that he does. And to date, we haven't had a single difficulty with this young man since he started work, and I think you can magnify that. And to give, I mean, there's another guy I've worked with, to see his self-esteem and his joy in doing his work is fantastic. This other guy has actually got Down syndrome. I remember he works in the bar, does the whole lot in the bar, and I argued with him one day over 10 pence. Mathematically, he was right, I was wrong. That was absolutely fantastic. So it really is, you see people's quality of life, what it does for people. Jobs, the big status thing is most people are valued by the work that they do, and that's why I think, and it's interesting that we come from, this is the valuing people team, valuing people now, what it truly means to value people. And I think my work in also self-directed support is also the same thing, to treat people as equal citizens. And it's very, very important about the equality notion of citizenship, both in people self-directing their support, and certainly we are working in our authority that every time a student actually hits 18, they will already have in place, or nearly have in place, their individual budget to decide how they wish to use that. And one of the valuable means that you could use that for, we've used it for life coaching already, people in mental health, but certainly if people chose to do that, job coaching would be an absolute classic use of that sort of work with a PA through an IB. So it's actually seeing people value, really treating people as equals.